everyone. I hope you're having a great week so far. So, the readings that I was looking at this week is from Acts 27, and it's the bottom part of this chapter, and it's talking about Paul in the shipwreck. So, he's a prisoner, he's on a boat, just hanging out with all the other prisoners, and they get in a storm on the sea. And then an angel appears to him and tells him, "Don't be afraid, Paul, for you will surely stand trial before Caesar. What's more, God in his goodness has granted safety to everyone sailing with you. So take courage," is what Paul told the Romans with him. Take courage because I believe God, and it was just as he said. It will be just as he said, and we will shipwreck on an island. So when I read that the first time, I read through it. I was like, okay. And then I just got to thinking more about it, and Paul is on a prison boat, and an angel appears to him. And in my human brain, I'm like, oh, the angel could have just taken Paul away, and he would have been freed from that. But that's not what happened. God definitely could have done it, but he didn't. And so what was it that we need to learn from that? Well, recently in Kids Church, we've been going over a series called Just Do It. And it's talking about the commands that God has for us and how we are supposed to follow out certain things, even when it's difficult. And this past Sunday, we talked about take up your cross, and how Jesus commanded us to take up our cross and follow him. And the cross is not a symbol of, in that time, the cross was not the same symbol that we have today. To us, we look at the cross and we see God's sacrifice and Jesus' forgiveness and his love for us. But at that time, the disciples, they saw a way to be tortured to death. So to them, taking up your cross sounded a lot harsher than it does to us these days, in some respects. But it still has a very powerful meaning to us. We are called to follow Jesus no matter what. In the middle of a storm at sea, in the middle of a shipwreck, God's got our back. And we are just supposed to take up our cross and follow where he leads. And it is not easy. Don't mistake me for all of this to say that it's easy, because I know it's not. But we can have faith that if we follow exactly what God says, if we follow his path, if we lead where he's taking us, we are going to be rewarded beyond our imaginings. And we may not know it this side of heaven, but as Paul said, to live as Christ and to die as gain. And Paul knew that. He knew in his time on a boat, gonna be taken before Caesar. He knew when he was shipwrecked on the island, no matter what he did, as long as he followed where Christ was leading him, God was going to see him through. I pray y'all have a great week this week. Continue on the journey with us, and we'll see you here at church.